My name is Brian Omondi. I've been training with him for 3 years now, so I can say as a boxer, he's a very good boxer, fast, technical, and fast. In the first 2 years, we used to like his style a lot because he was moving a lot, but then he started moving up to higher weight division, so now he's more aggressive. So now he focuses more on the aggression part rather than the technical part, but he's still very technical, but now he's more aggressive than he was when he was fighting in the lighter weights. One thing about him is he likes to push himself a lot. Like mostly he does like road work very early in the morning, then in the afternoon he does like weight training, like a lot of weights, then cardio. So mostly he likes to combine it, but he pushes himself a lot. He has been in this scene for long, so to him it doesn't really make a difference because I think his training will still remain the same. He'll still be fighting in the same way. So I don't really see it as a challenge for him because he has been in the boxing world for over 20 years now. So I think for him, everything will just be the same. Boxing as a contact sport, you can never really tell. But what we are working on or what you're training for, we are training for a clean sheet. Like maybe get 30-0, 40-0. But for boxing as a sport, you never know which opponents you're going to face, how they're fighting. So I'd say we take one challenge at a time. For the first 15 fights, I'd say we want a KO, but a win will do. But we are training for knockouts, the first 15 fights. I can say keep going, you're a strong lad. We know you are going to be the best you can be, and let's just keep training and working on it.
My name is Lennox Hostile. Hostile is my fighting name. Lennox Omwaya are my real names. Lennox Hostile is an animal. He's a boxer who started boxing at an early age. Budangu alikuwa fighter na kaniname after Lennox Lewis, the UK British boxer. Lennox is just a simple man out there, but in the ring ni animal mwenye anataka ku make history. I started boxing at the age of 6. My dad was a boxer and he used to push me a lot. Na sai Kenyan naona maybe kuwa world champion. So far naweza sema amateur. I think the fights that I lost naweza sema ni because maybe sikuwa na discipline haikuwa enough, but I think I have not been challenged enough kwa amateur. Na I think like even those fights zenye nili lose, watu nikiweza face I can beat them. I feel like I've never been challenged in my amateurs. I started with flyweight, that is 52 kilos. That is senior. Senior started with flyweight and then bantamweight, lightweight, and now I'm fighting kwa light welter. Target ni kukuwa na 8 fights na si underrate any opponent, but niko sure kwa the first 8 fights in Kenya zitakuwa nashinda by knockout, by KO. That is my goal, like the first 8 fights zinafaa kuwa win. Or for any opponent that I'm going to face in the first 8 fights or my first fight, he needs to be well prepared because I'm hungry and I feel niko ready na train hard. Na he's going to face like a real war, so maybe kunafaa kuna ambulance hapo hivyo ready yes kwa fight. Akuwe too prepared because it's not going to be easy for him. Because they say you can't do the first impression twice. So like my first fight, I'm coming with everything that I have. Now I'm going to make it a short fight, and when you're takama utakuwa entertained na hiyo fight. Shugari anasema the inactivity is the baddest sin in boxing. Na hiyo ndio move follow kila time. So like even the days sina fight ama siko camp, na try as much as I can kufanya moja mbili, maybe weights ama pad ama sparring, and najaribu kukua active kila time, kukua na train kila time, because they say boxers train when there's a fight coming up, but champions train every day. Kinaweza ambia boxing is just like the way life is, yeah. So kuna up and downs, but you try to move forward kila time kukiwa na challenge. Unaona, even sengine ukikuwa challenge una feel maybe ulikuwa una deserve kuwin na hujawin, una try ni kutry to kuwa strong na kupush. Kile nasema tu ni kupush. Boxing is my life and it has been my life and it will be my life.
My name is Andre Lenia. I'm the Lennox coach. Lennox is amazing. In my opinion, he can put Kenya on the map again on the international level. He's very dedicated, very serious, and he wants it. He has the boxing spirit. He has the heart. Well, I mean, I think since we started training, he has more knockouts in his game. And of course, you keep on learning it. Boxing is a never-ending journey. So the moment you think you're there, then you lose. So training is always hard, and we keep on pushing for bigger fights, for more fights. And so far so good, but it's time he starts making some money now, because he's on a level that he can compete international. Well, I think definitely that when we, let's say from next year on, we need to look for bigger fights. There's a lot of people calling me from Canada, from Germany, from Europe, who are looking for good boxers. So I think that will be a good step up for him in his career. And then he starts making good money also. Well, in Europe boxing is still big. It's like in the States. So it's not going to be an easy job, but I mean, that's the art of boxing. You always train harder and train more and put in more time than everybody else. So you cannot say it's a given fact he's going to, but I think with Lennox heart, he will conquer the world. Well, yeah, I don't have a crystal ball, but I predict he's going to win on knockout, because anywhere in the world, if you win on points, it's always sort of maybe 50-50. But a knockout speaks for itself, isn't it? Well, he's built up a big fan base already. Plus, he's also a nice person. He's a happy guy, and that attracts a lot of fans into his videos and to his. He has his own blog site or something. How do you call that? Whatever. But people love him. So, yeah. Well, that way you have to be very serious. You leave a lot of friends behind because they're not going to help you anyway. It's a lonely journey. But if you want to reach the top, then you got to make some sacrifices, you know. People always try to pull you back, or oh, come do this, do that. That your mindset has to be on that number one position. Yeah, and if there's not, you're gonna lose. Because there's always like girls around or guys around. You got to skip all that stuff out. Yeah, because boxing you can only do for a certain time in your life. You can be an accountant when you're 50 or 60, but a boxer needs to, like Lennox is still young, so he needs to do it now. I think if you want to be a fighter, you need to fight. You can do all the pad work that you want and be like a sort of a show boxer, but the more fights you have, the more experience you get, and the more you become a good fighter. You want to be a good fighter, you have to fight. Yeah, that's why I want him to do as many fights as he can get. Anywhere, here in Nairobi, everywhere. It doesn't matter. A fight is a fight.